Veena Shivoham, Sangam Gupta, Bridget, good morning. Shivoham Gautam, Sagairaj Shivoham, Pragasti, Shivoham Sudeep Bhargava, Girish and Amma Shivoham, uh, Krishna Sharma in the form of Rishika Banda, Shivoham, Dr. Singh, Shivoham, Siva, Shivoham, Gaurish, Shivoham. So today we are have many more people who are joining in. Maybe they are doing what is known as Ganapati Bappa Moria, Agle Baras tu Jaldi Aa. Many people are in that mode, and उनको पता नहीं कि गणेशा कहाँ आएगा कब आएगा, लेकिन डांस करने का तो चांस मिलता है, तो people dance. So that is the point. This dancing and celebrating festivals is all part of the material world. It is not part of a spiritual life. We human beings are quite confused. And today's subject is this: how to live a spiritual life in a material world. How to live a spiritual life is the new book that I have just finished, 20%. You know that every month you have to collect a new book from me. So it is up to you to collect the book from me. But every month, our team works very hard. And we try to produce a book every month. This month's book, as I told you, how to live a spiritual life in a material world. What is the way to live? The only way to live a spiritual life is in the material world. You can't live a spiritual life in the spiritual world. There is no spiritual world. The world that we have is only the material world. So don't be confused. Don't think, many people think, I have to give up the world to be spiritual. You don't have to give up the world. So that is the discussion, and I hope you will have some questions for me on that subject. But today, we are trying to start off in the book. How I start the book? I start with a part which is called understanding spirituality. What is spirituality? Spirituality is the science of the spirit. What is science? You know what is science, right? Science is a method of analysis through observation and experiment. This is what is science. Science will not accept anything. What does science do? They observe, analyze, and experiment. This is called science. So what is spirituality? It is also a science. It is only different. It is a science of the soul. And I explain how this material world is an illusion. And we think this material world is real. Unfortunately, scientists are tricked by Maya. The scientists are seeing the projections and they look at the material world. They don't discover the divine bliss. Have you ever seen a happy scientist? I haven't. Most scientists are very grumpy. Atheists. You look at the atheists, what is his name? Hawking. Huh? Look at the face, you will make out how much misery is there on the face. So the point is, we have to escape from this material world to live in a spiritual world, a spiritual life, not in a spiritual world. What are people living lives these days? Let us try to understand. We spoke about Gautam in this book. I showed, or I didn't show it in this group. There was a retreat in Bangalore. I showed them that one of the case studies I did was Gautam saying he is caught in a dharam sankat. Correct? Dharam sankat means Gautam says, my mother wants this, my father wants this, but I want this. What is my duty? What I must do? What I must not do? Many people are caught. They are caught between the devil and the deep sea. On one side is the devil and the other side is the deep sea. And people are caught in between. So we have to be able to use our power of discrimination. Some people in this world, they are slave to their duties. I asked them, why you didn't come for ask care? Arey kya kare yaar? Main to apne duty mein busy tha. What about your soulful duty? What about your duty to your soul? No, I was very busy. I could not attend because I have no time. I was busy doing this. So yesterday, remember we spoke yesterday? What is your most important duty? People who are living non-spiritual lives are captured by their duty. Some people are attached to their children. Huh? They are attached to their children, and some children are not just 10 or 12 or 15 or 4. Some children are 15 and 20 and 25 and 30 and 40. So we are attached to children, and therefore we are not able to progress on the spiritual path. We are not able to live a spiritual life in this material world. Some people are caught by greed. I don't know if you have seen somebody who is chained by greed. I know a friend, he sold his business. He sold his business, he had a lot of money. So his guru, his spiritual master told him, now you have a lot of money, you better go in quest of a spiritual life. So he told the master, sure, master, only I'm just doing one more project. Only one more project I'm doing, then I will go on spiritual life. He told this to his master 15 years back. And that one project has become one more project and one more project and one more project. So my dear friends, we have become slaves to our greed. That's why we are not able to live spiritual life in a material world. Some people, they are chasing happiness. They don't know what is happiness. They think happiness is pleasure. They think happiness comes from success. They think it comes from money, wealth, name, fame. No, this is not living a spiritual life. If you want a truly happy life, if you want a life of ananda, bliss, peace, it is not in the material world. The material world cannot give you. I know somebody, I call him Soul, S-O-L. He doesn't know why I call him Soul. He's my friend. But I call him, hi, Soul. Then one day he asked me, what is soul? I said, you're a very nice soul. But actually, I always call him Soul because I realize he's a slave of lust. He's a slave of lust. And then I call him that because I try to help him to overcome it. I don't call him in a negative manner. I try to call him soul because then I change my paradigm and I try to help him. I talk to him. I tell him, why are you in a lust of women, wealth, and wine? What will you get? Are you happy? So he's not happy. He admits he's not happy. But people who are living in this material world, some of them are addicts. They have an addiction to a drug, addiction to alcohol, addiction to movies. Some people, जब तक रात को 2-3 घंटा मूवी नहीं देखेंगे, नींद नहीं आएगी. I'm sure you must be having some people like that in your house. कि 3 घंटे मूवी नहीं देखा तो नींद नहीं आएगी. Some people are like that. Some people it's a drink. And some people say, क्या ना, वो एक पैक विस्की का नहीं पिया ना, तो मतलब खाना ही नहीं खा सकते. वो खाना खाने के लिए कम से कम एक पैक विस्की तो चाहिए. So you become addicted. And then some people ask me, what is wrong? अरे 2-3 पैक पीने से कुछ नहीं होता है. 2-3 पैक पीने से दिमाग को किक लगता है, इसलिए 2-3 पैक पीते हैं. And then you feel झूम बराबर झूम शराबी झूम बराबर. You get a nice feeling and you lose the power of discrimination. You lose a power of discrimination. So all this happens in the material world. How can we escape? Because people are trapped. So in the book, in part B, in this new book that will be released this month, How to Live a Spiritual Life in a Material World, in part B, I cover this point of real life stories. How will we pass by learning from these real life stories? How will we pass the material world? How will we realize that we have to live a spiritual life? Sometime back, I wrote these words and I like these words. It says, ऐसा क्यों लगता है कि मैं यही हूं जब सच में तो मैं हूं वही. मन क्यों भटकता है सोचता कि मैं ये हूं जबकि सच में मैं वही. इच्छाओं के जाल में क्यों मैं फंसा हूं कि जब सच में मैं ये नहीं. मैं तो वही हूं सच में ये नहीं हूं, पर क्यों खींचता मुझको यही. संसार में मैं फंसा माया में मैं फंसा, बच के बनना मुझे है वही, बनना मुझे है वही, बनना मुझे है वही। मैं ये नहीं, ये मैं नहीं, सच में तो मैं हूं वही। पर ये जो है ये ना चाहे, एहसास हो जाए मैं वही, एहसास हो जाए मैं वही। सो यू हैव टू रिमाइंड योरसेल्फ व्हाट, मैं ये नहीं, ये मैं नहीं, सच में तो मैं हूं वही, सच में तो मैं हूं वही। दिस इज द स्टार्ट of a spiritual journey. How are you going to start the spiritual journey? All of you are already on the spiritual journey, so you don't really need to worry about it up to now. But many of you must have started what is known as a quest. Many of you have started your talash, many, and you're already in the process of transcending me, mind and ego. Yesterday, I think we had an interesting call yesterday because the Krishna Sharma talked about intelligence, gym of the intelligence. I don't know whether we finished it or not. How can we overcome our ignorance? Yesterday we spoke of that also. Darkness. We had a very interesting session last 2 3 days. Very good questions. I'm really grateful to all of you for the lovely questions yesterday, day before yesterday. And some of you who are missing it, you should look at the link on Facebook and YouTube. It's there. Because we have to realize who we are not. Living in a spiritual world means realizing who we are not. And then ultimately realizing, who am I? Some people think they are human beings having a spiritual experience. Many people think we are human beings having a spiritual experience. They don't realize they are spirits having a human experience. Unfortunately, this is the truth. We are souls. We are a divine soul that is manifesting in a body to settle karma of the mind and ego, me. Therefore, our goal is that. Our goal is to be liberated. But we can't. Why we can't? Because we don't realize the truth. कि मैं कुछ भी ना, अहंकार एक फंसा, घोर विद्या अंधकार में फंसा। मैं नहीं, मैं तू ही, सच में मैं हूं तू ही, तू सब कुछ मैं कुछ भी नहीं। रिमाइंड योरसेल्फ व्हाट, मैं कुछ भी ना, अहंकारिक फंसा, घोर विद्या अंधकार में फंसा। Bridget, I am an ego. I am an ego caught in ignorance. I am not me. I am he. I am the holistic energy. He. I am he means I am the divine power. So these songs are very important. And I wish some of you listen to these songs. The song further says, संसार है माया और इस मिथ्य में फंसा, घोर अंधकार में फंसा मैं, कुछ भी मैं ना, पर इस झूठ में फंसा, बेवकूफी में जीता मैं, कब तक इस धोखे में जीऊंगा, दुख में जीऊंगा रे, जीऊंगा फिर मैं मर जाऊंगा, फिर मैं जीऊंगा रे। सच तो ये है मैं कुछ नहीं, सच में प्रभु सब कुछ तू ही, अंधकार में यूं ही जीता और मरता हूं मैं, कृपा अगर हो प्रभु तेरी, सच का एहसास हो जाएगा, मालूम होगा मैं कुछ नहीं और सब कुछ तू ही। When will we realize I am nothing? I am nothing. I am nothing. Oh Lord, you are everything. When will we realize? The day we realize that, we will start living a spiritual life in a material world. We will realize that everything is Maya. Everything is a projection. We have to realize this truth. Unfortunately, we don't. In the book, I cover important things. Like, for example, there's one part called religion versus spirituality in the book. A lot of people think spirituality is religion. No, being religious is not being spiritual. If every day you go to the temple and you put 3 namas like this and one red tilak like this, you become spiritual. No, you don't. You don't become spiritual. You become religious. Religion is only a kindergarten. Many people today they did Ganesha Puja. You become spiritual by doing Ganesha Puja. No, you do puja, but realize this is mythology. Many of you have spent the whole day doing Ganapati Puja. And those of you who do it, I don't know whether you understand the meaning. Kya puja? Kya bola? Kyun bola? Ganapati kaun hai? Kidhar hai? Kya hai? Kaisa hua? Kyun hua? You don't know anything. Only you say, Ganapati Bappa Moria. Agle baras tu jaldiya. I don't understand this meaning. Agle baras tu jaldiya. Kaise aayega Ganapati? So this is all from drama. And that's the problem. But this is why all religions are good. I don't believe any religion is superior. I believe all religions are good. And I don't argue with people on their religion because I tell them I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. How can you be spiritual? By going beyond rituals and superstitions. Many people were busy today. I asked them what you are doing. मैं तो बहुत busy था, बहुत busy. क्या किया? गणेश होमा. गणेश होमा. क्या है गणेश होमा? क्या किया गणेश होमा? They'll say, I will ask the pujari and tell you tomorrow. They don't know. So the problem is we pray, but we don't know what we say. And I always believe if you pray, but you don't know what you say, then you don't pray, you just pray. You pray. What's the use? You pray. You don't know what you. Then we'll see one thing very interesting in the book I cover. Veena, are you still in kindergarten or you're past kindergarten? Finish. You went to LKG, you know, when you were a small child. You went or no? You went. But after that, you went to high school. Maybe you went to some college. I did not get so much chance to go much to college. But we go from kindergarten to school to college in life. But in the religious world, we remain in the kindergarten throughout our life. 80-year-old man is still in LKG. He is still telling, Om Namah Shivaya, Ganapati Bappa Moria, Om Ganapati Namah. So one man was singing so nicely. Om Ganganpataya Namaha, Om Ganganapataya Namaha, Om Ganganapataya Namaha, Om Ganganapataya Namaha. Very nice, no? Such a nice mantra it is. So what's the meaning? What is the meaning? If you don't understand it, then why are you singing? Suppose somebody tells you to sing the song, I am a good little donkey. I am a good little monkey. Will you sing? Will you go to the road and will you sing? I am a good little donkey. I am a good little monkey. No, you won't sing because you understand what it means, right? But you say some mantra, somebody tells you, some Swami, some Darvish will tell something to you. I even tell you 100 times, don't believe me. Question me. What I speak, if you don't agree, no, they don't, I am not agreeing to you. Question what you're talking. I will not agree. Question me. My dear friends, it is very, very important for us to evolve from the journey of religion to spirituality. If you don't evolve from the journey of religion to spirituality, you will never graduate. You will not graduate and you will be stuck. And if you're stuck, then you are stuck. Then there is no chance of you attaining the ultimate goal of nirvana, moksha, enlightenment. So I cover the point of religion. And I always like to tell this to people, right? I tell people, बच्चों को कैसे कोई भक्ति सिखाए, प्रभु कौन है उन्हें ये कैसे समझाए, जीवन वो है देता, ये जग उसने बनाया है. When somebody asks you what is Ganesha, why you must give false stories? Why you must tell Lord Shiva got angry, he cut off the head, then he put the head. Did all that happen actually? Why you are teaching the children wrong things? Because you can't teach the child a simple thing, that God is the creator of this world. God is the giver of destiny. He is the governor of death. Why can't we teach children simple things? We don't know to teach children the right things. So we teach children the wrong things. A spiritual life in a material world, it means asking the question, what is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose? Success? Money? Name? Fame? Will you take with you? Will you take your money with you? Will you take your name and fame with you? Does anything belong to you? If I give you one pin, only one pin, and tell you, give it to me on the other side after death, can you give me? You may be a billionaire. But even if you're a billionaire, you're actually bankrupt if you don't know that nothing belongs to you. The fact is, we must understand that everything is Maya, everything is Leela. We must realize the truth of birth and death. You know, there's a very interesting story, how to live a spiritual life in a material world. I always like the example of Raja Janak. I give many times, I quote Raja Janak. He's the father of Sita, mythologically. So Raja Janak was once, along with many monks, many wise saints and sages. And suddenly in the palace, there was a big galata, noise. Oh, there's a fire in the palace, there's a fire, there's a big fire. All the Swamis, all the pujaris, the saints, the monks, they started running. Why they started running? Because they kept their tiffin box outside. Because they kept their shawl. They had one small bag. Monks don't have big suitcases, small bag. But Raja Janak was sitting peacefully. He called the mantri. He said, please call the extra soldiers from here and put out the fire. And he was sitting aram se. Then, you know, the monks came back with their bags and they told Raja, you're sitting so peacefully. The Raja said, whatever has to be will be. The people who are going to put off the fire, they are putting off the fire. I am not going to put off the fire. I am peaceful. I surrender. So this is a story, and Raja Janak is a good model to follow in spirituality. We must realize, like Raja Janak, that this world is a Maya. This world is Leela. We have to realize that this is a material world. And for us, our life has to be a spiritual life. How will we realize this? Huh? About 5 years back, I wrote these words. It said, Chura liya mujhse tumko. This material world is like this. Chura liya mujhse tumko. पैसों की रौनक ने अपना बनाया, खुद ही को मैं खो दिया. सच जो मेरा था उसको मैं छोड़ के बेगाना मैं हो गया. सब कुछ मिला मुझे फिर भी ना कुछ मिला. अमीर बनाया मुझे भिखारी फिर बन गया. कुछ भी अंत में ना मेरा. अंत में मैं अकेला. अंत में मैं अकेला. In the end, you have any doubt that you will be alone? Huh? You think somebody will be holding your hand? Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your children? You think they'll be holding your hand? Some people are so worried about their children. Some people are living their entire life taking care of their children without realizing that their children don't even bother about them. But this is the reality of life. In our Anath ashram, we have 600 people which are Anath, all ages. Mothers, fathers, people are thrown on the street. People have thrown their mother and father on the street. We have 600 people like this in our ashram. But we don't realize it. I am telling you from my experience. And we have got experience of big people. You know, I always give the example. Sikandar. Remember Sikandar? What did Sikandar say? एक दिन सिकंदर दुनिया का राजा, मौत से वो बचना चाहा. वैद को बोला जान बचाओ, महल और धन तुझे दे दूंगा. सब दे दूंगा गर तू बचा ले पैद मगर क्या बचाएगा, तेरे जीवन का अंत होगा, झूठ नहीं सच्ची ये बात। कौन महान जो बच के निकला, मौत से कौन है बच पाता। Why don't you realize in this material world you will face death? The body has to die. Why can't you be like Raja Janak? Be like a boat in the water. Don't sink in the material world. Be like a lotus in Dal Lake. You have lotus and lilies. They don't sink. They live in the dirty lake, but they are floating above beautifully. Beautiful lilies and lotus. I see them every time I come to Kashmir. We must be inspired. We must live like the lotus. It has a lotus stem. In Kashmir, they call it Nadru, lotus stem. If you come to Kashmir, you must have Nadru Pakoda. Very good. But that is all material life. Forget about the lotus stem. You be like the lotus. You be like the lotus that is above the waters. And you be in a state of consciousness. You must be in a state of yoga. If you really want to live a spiritual life in this material world, be a yogi. योगी जो योग में सदा ही रहे, प्रभु के योग में रहे, संसार की माया में वो ना फंसे, सदा योग में वो रहे. Be connected to God. You know, there's a very beautiful story. In the villages, these girls, they carry matka. Have you seen? They carry matka and they walk. Datata, you know, no? And they go chim chakka. They go like this and they carry the matka. But there are 5 girls and they are carrying matka and they are talking and laughing and joking, but they don't drop the matka. The matka is on the head. So it is to live a spiritual life in a material world. You can be talking and joking, but the matka of spirituality must be on your head. Don't drop the matka. Learn from the village girls. Learn to be in a state of consciousness. Be in a state of Sat Chit Anand. We must realize Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. See God everywhere. See God in one and all. See God in everything. Unfortunately, we are caught in this material world. We are not able to live as the divine soul. What is one chapter in the book, this new book, How to Live a Spiritual Life in the Material World? One chapter is Happiness in a Spiritual World. To evolve from the happiness of achievement to the state of fulfillment and finally enlightenment. How can we attain that state of bliss? Living life moment by moment. If some of you have not taken that book is now printed. Please collect your book from me. It's called Live Life Moment by Moment. We are not living, we are trying to eat the elephant in one bite. No, you can't eat elephant in one bite. Bit by bit, moment by moment. Live life. In one chapter in the book, I cover love in the spiritual world. In the material world, love is Valentine's, hugs, kisses. That's all. It is lust. In the spiritual world, it is divine love. It is ishq hakiki. It is agape. The Sufis called it ishq hakiki. The Greeks called it agape. True love is bliss, not just a kiss. If you want to live in a spiritual life in a material world, learn to love, but love everybody. Don't be attached. Don't be so caught that your love becomes lust, that your love becomes attachment. If your love is attachment, it's not love, it's attachment. You think, oh, I love my baby. No, that's not love your baby. No, that is attachment. When you really love, you are detached. When you really love, your love reaches out to the divine that is everywhere. That is true love. So we cover all this in the book. Remember, friends, spirituality is a choice. If you keep doing what you're doing, you will keep. If you want to change what you're doing, then change what you're doing. Because if you change what you're doing, then you must learn to renounce. People don't understand the meaning of renounce. Some people think renounce means leave everything and go to the forest, become vanaprastha or sannyasi. No, no, no. You don't need to become vanaprastha. You don't need to go into vanaprastha and sannyas. No. What do you need to do? You need to realize that you don't have to be a slave of what you crave. There's a very interesting story. I think it is a Ved Vyas. Ved Vyas had a devotee. His name was Jayamani. Have I told you, Dattatra, you know the story of Jayamani? No? For Dattatraya's sake, let me repeat. Dattatraya may not have heard the story. So Jayamani was following Ved Vyas. And he told Ved Vyas, I'm going to renounce the world. He was a king. And I will go to the forest. So he left and went to the forest. He was living in a small hut, which had about 4 or 5 rooms. One day, a bunch of college girls got lost in the forest. It started pouring rain. So those girls wearing saris reached Germany. One girl, other girls got back to their house. One girl got lost. When she reached Germany, she was drenched with water and she was looking very sensual because she was wearing a sari. And when the sari is wet, you know how a lady can look with a wet sari. So Germany closed his eyes. He said, don't come here. I'm a sannyasi. Don't come here. Don't come here. So then what she told, no, if you send me to the forest, the wolves will eat me up. The wolf will eat me. You're a sannyasi. Save me. Give me place in your room. So he told, okay, the last room in the corner, go there and lock yourself. And don't open the door. I take this food and go. He gave a packet of food. Go, take this food, water. Don't come out of your room. Even if I knock in the middle of the night, if I knock and if I tell I am Jaimani, don't open the door, because he was a saint. He knew that lust may overtake him because he saw the lady in a wet sari. Middle of the night, he could not sleep. Middle of the night, he could not sleep. He went to the room and he knocked the door. He told, open the door. She told, no, I will not open. He said, I am Jaimani. She said, you only told me. If I come middle of the night also, don't open the door. So what he did, in the olden days, above the door, there used to be a small window. He jumped up from the window and jumped inside. When he jumped inside, he saw the girl was missing. Ved Vyas was sitting. Ved Vyas had taken the form of the girl to teach him a lesson. What lesson he taught him? That by running away from the palace to the forest, you don't become a sannyasi. You don't become a yogi. So, my dear friends, if you want a spiritual life, you don't have to leave the material world. That's why we are writing this book, How to Live a Spiritual Life in the Material World. Take my own example. It's a live example of my life. I'm living in a material world. I try to live a spiritual life. I try to evolve from the caterpillar crawling into a butterfly. I try to live a life of realization as a yogi in Satchidananda. Right? So this is the story of the book, How to Live a Spiritual Life in the Material World. You must remember the words. Sometimes I tell you, do you all remember? Sometime back I told you all this song. मैं क्या हूँ कुछ भी नहीं, सब कुछ तुम ही हो प्रभु, तुम बिन मैं क्या कुछ भी ना, जो भी मैं दिखता प्रभु, कण कण में तू है समा, तुम बिन प्रभु मैं कुछ भी ना। तितली जो उड़ती हवा में, वो तितली तो तुम ही तो हो। कमला एक कीड़ा था, पर तितली बनाया जो तुम ही हो। हमको भी मुक्ति दे दे, मोक्ष हमको तू दे दे, हमको ये संसार से प्रभु आके तू बचा ले। मैं भी उड़ के तेरे पास आ जाऊं, चाहूं ये मैं क्या हूं कुछ भी नहीं, सब कुछ तुम ही हो प्रभु, तुम बिन मैं क्या। So my friends, remember to conclude this session and go to Ask AiR. Life is meaningless to live a material life in a material world. We will die and we will be born again and again. Our ultimate goal is to realize we are the divine soul, to be liberated and to be united with God. Those who don't experience the triple suffering of body, mind, and ego, right? They return to hell again and again. The challenge is this. Either you want to experience the triple suffering of body, mind, and ego, you come back. You want to be liberated and united with God, then live a spiritual life in this material world. That is the end of today's session. Next week, we will touch on this interesting subject. Where are you on the spiritual journey? Have you started? Are you going to start? Are you moving? Are you crawling? Or are you already enlightened? Where are you on the spiritual journey? That we will talk next week. But today, Administrator, let us get on to question and answers because I have crossed my time limit.
Ed, today is Suicide Prevention Day, so there is a question that has come to you regarding this.
Where is the question? Are you giving the question? Or?
I'm just projecting it to you.
Today, they tell me is World Suicide Prevention Day. Why do people commit suicide? How can it be prevented? Huh? Today is supposed to be World Suicide Prevention Day. Okay, thank you. So why do people commit suicide? We see so often people commit suicide. Why? Because they think suicide is the end of their problems. Is it so? Is it so? If you have a bank loan and you run away from one house, you run away from one nagar to another nagar, your bank loan will be free. The bank will catch you. Nowadays, there's Aadhaar card. They will catch you and they will make you pay the loan. Remember this, if the bank can catch you and make you pay the loan based on your Aadhaar card, karma can catch you wherever you are. Karma will catch you if you are in some other body also. Karma will come and catch you inside a body and say, hello, you think you did suicide, huh? Suicide kiya, ho gaya? Nahi. Suicide is not a solution to problems. Suicide only multiplies problems. Suicide is not the end, my friend. Remember, it only makes your misery extend. Suicide is not the end. It only makes misery extend. So if anybody you know tells you I'm committing suicide, tell them, congratulations, because your misery is going to become multiplied by 100. So don't try to act smart. No, I'm so depressed in life. So what if you're depressed? You can't run away. You have to face it. So you have to face life. You can't run away from life. So Administrator, thank you for that interesting question. We will continue. If anybody wants to ask questions on spirituality.
Ed, please unmute.
Yes, please start your questions.
Gautam, first question.
Gautam.
Here, Shivoham.
Shivoham.
My question is that should enlightened person should celebrate the festivals, all the festivals, or else there is any chance of slipping in enlightenment if we celebrate the festival?
No. An enlightened person may celebrate the festival, but must know it is all Leela Maya. I'm not telling stop celebrating, but you should know that Ganapati was not actually Shiva's son. That Ganapati was not actually killed. What is this? You are intelligent man, Gautam. You believe that Lord Shiva cut off the head. Then you believe that he cut off the head. Then he cut elephant and he put on the head. See, you have to understand. Whatever these pujaris tell us, our religion tells us, you must question religion. You want to celebrate, you celebrate. Why you celebrate only festival? You celebrate every day, no? Every day should be celebration. Every moment should be celebration. Why only Ganapati? Why only Deepavali? In our country, there is a new festival every week. Huh? Tamil New Year, Telugu New Year, Bengali New Year. I don't know how many festivals are there in our country. You know that? They will say Raksha Bandhan. So what Raksha Bandhan? By tying one thread, it's all. That's all. So we have to understand what is Mahashivratri, then Ramanomi, Krishna Jayanti. We keep on celebrating. There is nothing wrong if you believe in one God. Suppose you believe in Krishna and you celebrate Krishna Jayanti. Nothing wrong. I believe in Shiva. I celebrate Mahashivratri. Nothing wrong. But Gautam, remember these words. When you celebrate a festival. Don't pray to God. Don't pray to, T-O, to God. Pray through God. T-H-R-O, through. Pray through the festival. Through the festival, try to unite with God. That is the challenge. Thank you. Next question, please.
Thank you, AiR.
Next is Sagai Raj. Suicide is evil. Why people go against God? The life which is a gift from Almighty.
Because they are ignorant. People commit suicide because first they are depressed and their brain, their intellect doesn't work. They become prisoners of the depressed mind. There was a man owner of Cafe Coffee Day, 10,000 crore company in Bangalore. He jumped from the river and killed himself. So why did Siddharth commit suicide? Because his mind doesn't work. His intelligence doesn't work. By jumping from the river and killing himself, what has he done? He has gone against the universal laws of birth and death. And we can't escape from our karma. We have to come back and pay for our karma. So why people do it? The answer is this: because they are defeated by the monkey mind. The monkey mind can make us depressed, can make us anxious. Anybody here can go and commit suicide if they are not a master of their mind. You must be a master of your mind. Next question, please.
Shankar Selvaraj.
Yes, Shankar Selvaraj.
Shivam,
Shivoham.
now I got a question on the WhatsApp recently. Is karma transferable? I recollected many people talking about this Pitru karma, Matru karma, all kind of terms, all they use, many of the ancestors. So little confused. Can you clarify?
So if I want to transfer money from my bank account to your bank account, I can transfer. But I can transfer or no?
Yes.
But if I eat the food, can I transfer the energy to your stomach?
No.
Why not? Because I'm
Body
eating the food.
different.
I'm eating the food. I can't transfer the food to your stomach. Karma is like that. Karma is not transferable. Karma is yours. Shankar Selvaraj means one day Shankar Selvaraj will die. But you will not die. You are not Shankar Selvaraj. You understood that? You are not Shankar Selvaraj. Your name is Shankar Selvaraj. You are the person, when Shankar Selvaraj will die, what your friends will do, they will burn your body. And they will say, Shankar Selvaraj passed away. Right or wrong what I'm saying? You believe or you don't believe what I'm saying?
Right.
Then where Shankar Selvaraj will go? That man who was Shankar Selvaraj, that Atma or that energy, where he is gone? He is carrying his karma. His karma is not over. Suddenly you die. And that karma, just because your mother and father are there, it will not go to them. Just because your children are there, it will not go to them. This is your karma. You did the karma. Some pujaris, what they tell you, oh, we will do Pitra Puja, we will do Karma Kanda Puja, and we will take over your karma, give 10,000 rupees. You believe? You give 1 lakh rupees, they will take over your karma. You believe?
No.
They are lying you. They are making fool of you and me. Karma is non-transferable. That is why a little child is born blind. Why the child is born blind? Because that person who was previously alive did bad karma. That bad karma is not transferable. You cannot transfer karma. It only transitions. What is the meaning of transition or transmutation? Transition or transmutation means the karma moves from one body to another body. Just like the software moves from one old mobile phone to new mobile phone, how the software can be transferred, the karma transfers from one dead body to a new zygote, a tiny cell. But only this transitioning of karma is possible. Transfer is not possible.
You have heard of medical people talking about hereditary diseases coming from family lineage.
Yes.
Some spiritual people are saying that is actually the karma passing through DNA diseases passing through that and all.
I don't think that while the... Okay, let me explain to you my understanding. This answer I did not prepare. It's coming to me. I'm giving you live what I'm feeling. What I believe, how is a child born? Shankar Selvaraj. The male cell and the female cell merges. You agree?
Yeah.
But if the Atma or the soul is not there, then fertilization will not take place.
Correct.
We are confusing the gross aspect of our body with the spiritual aspect of our body. The gross aspect, the physical cell of the male and the physical cell of the female, they become one. The DNA comes from there. The hereditary comes from there. The body comes from there. It has nothing to do with the soul. It has nothing to do with the spirit. Nothing to do. Are you getting the point?
Okay.
Logically, are you agreeing with me logically, or you're not agreeing with me logically?
Okay. Logically
Get
agree.
my point. Can my son get hereditary from you?
No.
Why not? Because my son is born from my sperm. The sperm and the ovum, when they become one, the DNA or the genes of that male and that female are the only source of the beginning of the body of that life. But that has no connection to the spiritual aspect of our life.
Okay.
The gross body is only an instrument that does karma and faces karma. The real karma is owned by not the body. The karma is owned by me, M-E, mind and ego, what is known as the Sukshma Sharir, or the inner instrument, or the software of the human body. Very interesting question. I can tell you, honestly, I have never written this in any of my book or something. So you have created a new, I'm grateful to you because you created a new learning for me. I did not know the answer. I did not know the answer which I gave you now. The answer came to me just now. So you have created a new wisdom. Because of the divine grace, you have created a new wisdom. Thank you, Shankar. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing. That's all.
Administrator Captain.
Sure.
Point. Thank you. Next question, please.
Krishna Sharma.
Sir, Krishna Sharma.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam, sir.
Sir, always you are telling about state
Little
of
loudly, sir.
consciousness.
I can't hear you. Little loudly, please.
Always you are telling about state of consciousness. Is there any threshold limit? If you cross, you will become self-realized and God-realized. Threshold.
Threshold.
Is there any threshold limit? If you cross, you will become self-realized and God-realized.
Yeah, of course there is.
How to get it? How to jump over that threshold?
Death. I told so many times, my dear sir, Krishna Sharma, I told you, understand simple. You have to understand this.
Yeah.
As long as you are alive, your body is alive or not alive? Alive. Your mind is alive or not alive?
Yeah, alive.
Alive. Ego is alive or not alive?
Yeah, alive.
You cannot become 100% conscious and realized as long as you are alive. Any moment you can fail. Then again you will tell me, this Swami told like that Swami told like this religion told like this. What answer I can give you? They are not. You have to use your intelligence, Krishna Sharma. Because suppose I'm giving my own example. Whatever I may have realized, whatever consciousness I might have been, what is the guarantee tomorrow I don't become a slave to some lust? What is the guarantee? Okay. That's why a yogi is always holding sword. The yogi is like this. If lust comes, cut. Woman, cut. Wealth, cut. Wine, cut. The yogi is very alert. The yogi is holding a gun in his hand. Does not mean that you should give up the world, but you should be attention. It is just like CRPF in Kashmir. You come to Kashmir, lot of CRPF, they're all ready. If they see militant, they shoot. You have to be ready. You have to be alert. So threshold. The threshold is death. When death happens, only moksha is possible. That's why moksha is not possible before death. Only mukti is possible. Jivan mukti, before death. Before death, I think they call nirvan. And after death, they call mahanirvan. That's the difference between the two. Sanjay Das, correct me if I'm wrong, Sanjay Das. Do they not call nirvana and mahanirvana?
Yes,
Sanjay
sir.
Das?
Yes, yes, Guruji.
He's my Buddhist guru. Sanjay Das is our Buddhist guru. Okay. Next question, please.
Jyotri has asked 3 questions.
3 questions. But Jyotri is not showing his face. You have to request that. Come on. What are the 3 questions for Jyotri, please?
Is there any difference between my life, soul, and an ant's life, soul? If there is no difference, then I am a murderer.
No, am I a murderer? No, why should you be a murderer, Jyotri? Please understand, in this world, we are a soul that appears in a body as per karma. Be very clear about it. You are Jyotri because you have appeared in this world based on your past karma. The ant is an ant because it has appeared in this world based on its past karma. So the soul in you and the soul in the ant is only different in terms of its, what you call the power or voltage or whatever we called it. But it's the same soul. There's only one soul. Remember, there are not 8 billion souls. There is only one soul. If there is no difference, then am I a murderer? I don't understand why you should be a murderer. So Jyotri, please clarify. What is the connection? If you and the ant both have the same soul, how do you become a murderer? You don't kill the ant. If you kill the ant, of course you are a murderer. Unless the ant is coming to bite you. If the ant is biting you also, you can take the ant and throw it away. You will not die with an ant bite. But many people, they kill ant just like they are eating grapes. They kill many ants. No, we should not kill. Second question.
How to sustain and grow the state of enlightenment? What if someone slips from this stage?
If you slip from this stage, then chakke piecing and piecing and piecing. So you should not slip, because if you slip, then you dip and you have to climb again. It's like, Jyotri, the best example of what to do if someone slips, Jyotri. Sudeep, you know the best example, Sudeep? What, Sudeep? It's like playing snakes and ladders. It's like Ruchika has made a new game called Spiritual Snakes and Ladders. I don't know when she's going to release it. It's called Snakes and Ladders. So you climb the ladder when you're going up the spiritual path. And if your snake bites you, Jyotri, if lust bites you, if wealth bites you, if whiskey bites you, like a snake bites you, you come down. Again, you climb up. So the answer, Jyotri's questions are, you must all remember, spirituality is a game of snakes and ladders. You must remove from, Sudeep is laughing, never heard this before? First time, is it?
Yes, sir. But I can relate it to something else. I'll possibly tell you sometime other thing.
Okay. So last question. So how to sustain and grow through enlightenment? Because stop playing snakes and ladders and start playing ladders and ladders. So don't play, Jyotri, don't play snakes and ladders. Remove all the snakes from your life and keep only ladders. Keep on climbing up. Keep on climbing up. Keep on climbing up. Third question.
Is bad thought bad karma? Can an enlightened person think or do bad?
A bad thought is not bad karma. Be very clear, Jyotri. Karma means action. The word karma itself means action. It doesn't mean khayal, man, no. Because we can get thousands of bad thoughts. As long as bad thoughts are controlled, it is not bad karma. I give always a good example. Please remember, Jyotri. If you have hundreds of good thoughts, will you be given reward by God? How can you be given hundreds of rewards for God for having good thoughts? God will say, you have good thoughts, but did you do anything? You didn't do anything, no reward. Similarly, if you have bad thoughts, you didn't do anything, no punishment. You controlled the mind. Can an enlightenment person have bad thoughts? Yes, the enlightenment person will have bad thoughts because the mind will still produce bad thoughts. But the enlightened person lives by the intellect. He discriminates. He has a strong willpower. He doesn't let the bad thought become actions. He doesn't create bad karma. He realizes he is not the doer of karma. He is free from karma. He is liberated and united with God. So that is the way an enlightened person lives. Thank you, Jyotri. We are still waiting to see you. Next question, please.
Ravi Patel.
Yes, Darvi Patel, your question. Is it typed or is it live?
Yes, I'll read it out.
Yeah.
Sir, I feel suffocated in this material world. I have every material thing, but that doesn't satisfy me. How to connect ourselves to God and escape from this material world?
So Darvi Patel, were you present for the whole session? I think I saw you coming only after the session was over. Then how you will escape from the material world? Because from 7:30 to 8, we were speaking exactly the same subject. Please go to Facebook or YouTube Live and listen to today's session. Darvi Patel and everybody else who joins at 8 o'clock. On Friday, our session is at 7:30. So Darvi Patel, briefly to answer your question, but if you want the full answer, I will send a book to you, How to Live a Spiritual Life in the Material World by month end. And please listen to the full recording on YouTube or Facebook today. You may have all the material pleasures in life, Darvi, but material pleasures will only give you pleasure. Material pleasure will not give you contentment, fulfillment. It will not liberate you from misery and sorrow. We human beings suffer what is known as the triple suffering of the body, misery of the mind, and agony of the ego. We all human beings face pain when we go for root canal or when we have kidney pain or even heart pain. We suffer because of fear and worry. It comes from the mind. We are anguished by anger, hate, revenge, and jealousy that comes from the ego. Darvi, if you want to be free from all these problems, you must attain that state of realization that you are the divine soul. You are not the body that suffers, not the mind, not the ego. It is not difficult to realize this. And if you start the journey of spirituality, you are sure to overcome this. I suggest you attend this call every day at 8 and Friday 7:30. I can assure you that your life will change. I think if I'm not mistaken, you asked me the same question a few months back, if my memory is not wrong. And I told you to attend this regularly and you will evolve on the journey. So it is possible to live a life of bliss, of joy, of peace. It is possible to live a spiritual life in the material world, Darvi, but we must walk the talk. We must not just want, we must work towards it. So I'm happy to help you. Please be regular, be connected to God. God is not far away. Today I did a recording, tomorrow it will be published, of building a bridge. We are building bridge in Kashmir. Every 100 meters, they are building a bridge to cross the river. And I told them, you are building a bridge to cross the river. When will you build a bridge that will go inside? You build a bridge that goes inside. You don't keep on building bridges to cross the rivers. Already there are hundreds. You try to build a bridge to God. God lives in the temple of your heart. So Darvi, learn to build a bridge that will connect you with God. And that bridge is from the Atma to the Paramatma. Realize you are not the body, mind, ego, you are the divine soul. Thank you, Administrator. Next question.
Last question from Bridget.
Yeah.
Dear AiR, how can I have a good way to choose when the decision is hard to make?
Repeat.
How can I have a good way to choose when the decision is hard to make?
So all good ways have got hard decisions, Bridget. If we were in school and we wanted to attain good marks, it means we have to work hard. If you want to have a good bodybuilding in the gym, it means you have to carry weights, you have to do exercise. So just like we do physical exercise to build the body, we need to do spiritual exercises to build that power within us. And that spiritual gym, as they call it, the spiritual gym is more important than the physical gym. I don't care if one day I don't do my exercise of the body, I don't care. But if one day I don't do the exercise of the soul, I'm very disturbed. I don't like to miss my soul exercises. So if you want to really, evolve on the question, if you want to really evolve on the path, you have to do these spiritual exercises. The spiritual exercise is very important, right? So I'm repeating your question. You said, how can I have a good way to choose when the decision is hard to make? The decision will become easy if you are constantly spiritual. Maybe in a day right now, you are spiritual 2 hours or 4 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours. Increase the spirituality of your life. Don't try to increase your IQ or EQ, intelligence quotient, and emotional quotient. Try to increase your SQ, your spiritual quotient. We are all busy trying to improve our intelligence. We are trying to increase our bank balances. We are trying to increase our remuneration, our income. When will we increase our soul power? The moment you increase your soul power, Bridget, everything becomes easy. Life becomes a game that is not difficult. You live a life of Sat Chit Anand. You live a life of peace and bliss, of joy. I know you believe me, but you're thinking how to do it. So continue, Bridget. You are the most regular person on this call, coming from Quebec in Canada. My salute to you. You are here every day on the call. Keep on, keep on. Don't leave it. Don't leave the spiritual exercise. How you are coming every day, how you are asking questions, how you are reading books. You are the one who asks me to send a new book to you. You're reading, you're printing the book in Quebec. I don't know how many of you have done it. Now, Bridget, living in Quebec in Canada, took a soft copy of the book Neti Neti Tattvamasi. It is all to do with our spiritual, Indian spirituality. But this French girl living in Quebec, Canada, has printed the book in Quebec and she's reading the book in Quebec. That is why she is so committed to the spiritual journey, and that is why she is evolving on the path.
And now
So,
I read the next books you have sent me, yoga. I am reached the 8th chapter.
What is that?
I have reached 8th chapter
8th
on
chapter.
your book, where yoga.
Yoga. You reached the 8th chapter in the book Neti Neti, and that is yoga. Good.
No. I'm reached Neti Neti is gone.
Oh.
And now I read yoga.
Okay, you're reading the book on yoga, 8th chapter. Very good. So if you have any question, you ask me, and tell all your friends that yoga is not about physical exercise or. So you see, it's very, very important that all of us evolve on the spiritual journey. So please continue, Bridget. You are an inspiration to the others and to all of you. If there's any question,
Shivam, His grace to you.
Huh?
His grace to you.
Grace of the divine. I am nothing. He is everything. I
Yes,
am zero.
you're right.
Yeah, I am all 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. He puts the number before the zeros, and that becomes the power. So, my dear friends, if anybody wants to ask a direct question, my number is on the screen. You're welcome to ask me direct questions. But every day we have a date at 8. On Fridays, it's 7:30. Like I always say, today's Shankar Selvaraj taught me something new. He taught me the difference between the gross body and the physical and the spiritual body. Shankar Selvaraj asked the question about the connection between genes and hereditary and spirituality. I didn't know the answer, but God sent us the answer, because always God sends the answers. And today we learned something new. I thank him, and I thank all of you for coming on this call every day and making the wisdom grow in this group. With folded hands and namaskaras, I bow down to you. Shivoham.